Information is power. Everyone wants power. So feel powerful with the NTA News mobile app, the one-stop information center. Real news at your fingertip. Be the first to report by uploading first-hand information on the U-Report link, and be the first to know by simply clicking on any of the links on the sidebar for headlines, domestic and foreign news, economy, security, politics, sports, and more. Stream live on your smartphone and tablets and stay connected. It's pretty easy. Simply download NTA News app from your Google Play Store and you're good to go. NTA News mobile app, your access to real.
Hello. To gain admission into the nation's institutions of higher learning takes a process designed to produce eligible candidates to sit for that transitional examination. And how that process is currently being executed is on our desk tonight as we open our file. Good evening and welcome to another edition of News, Views and Analysis. Registration for the 2017-2018 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME, began on Monday, 20th March, with a new template that compels students to undertake 3 main stages in the registration process. In the first step, every candidate is expected to create a profile on the JAMB official website using personal email address. Following this is payment in selected banks for the online form, after which a personal identification number, PIN number, is generated and issued. The final step requires candidates to visit computer-based test center, CBT, for biometric capture. JAMB Authority says the scratch card system was dropped to check activities of fraudsters, but some candidates and their parents describe the new process as slow, cumbersome, and stressful. This perhaps led to the rescheduling of the time frame from 19th April to 5th May 2017, with over 1 million students so far registered for the examination. How is the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, tackle these registration challenges in the face of low-level computer literacy, as some candidates, especially from rural communities, have little or no knowledge of how to use computers? Stay with us on Weekend File for a critical analysis of the situation and possible solutions to 2017-2018 UTME registration challenges. My name is Kierian Umayo. Weekend File begins right now with the news. A non-governmental organization has come to the aid of the people of Papaladna, a boundary community between the Federal Capital Territory and Nasarawa State, by providing some of their basic needs. Deborah Brooksland Sunday reports that the show of love is in the spirit of Easter celebration.
The people of Papaladna community are predominantly farmers with no access to basic social amenities.
Sacrifice is the reason for Easter celebration, and these mothers under the aegis of divine women of purpose are in this community to give charity and medical supports.
It doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter the race, it doesn't matter the religion, we belong to one God.
We're happy with this medical reached to us. Most of our children and the pregnant women, it will help them.
The organization conducted malaria, HIV and other tests for the people free of charge. They were also counseled on how to live healthy lives. Jennifer Bende, who is pregnant, says she has not been sleeping under treated mosquito nets.
The time that they tell us I do not have money to buy it, I feel so happy. I'm so happy to have it.
From the tests we have carried out, some of them are positive. Some children need medical care, a serious care that the government needs to come and assist us.
Medication and other gift items were presented to the people at Debola, Brooksland Sunday, NTA News.
Indeed, the Easter period comes with with it the spirit of sacrifice and good tidings to the people, especially as the faithful use the occasion to give helping hands to those who need it, as depicted by the gesture of the divine women of purpose to the Papaladna community. And it's in this spirit, too, that President Muhammad Buhari, in his message, implored celebrants to be firm in their faith and resolute in sacrifice to humanity. Correspondent Johnson Bermuni has more of the president's message.
The president added that the commemoration of this special season in Christianity is always preceded by fasting, piety, humility, penance and prayers of intercession in the build-up to the death of Jesus Christ on Good Friday, an event which reunited man with his Creator. The message of Easter, he noted, is filled with themes of love, faith, sacrifice, dedication, commitment, fulfillment of prophecy, hope, expectation and victory, as espoused in the scriptures and the teachings and lifestyle of Jesus Christ. As Christians celebrate yet another Easter, President Buhari urges all Nigerians to live peacefully with one another and do their utmost to make the country a beautiful place. The president maintained that the administration has worked hard to meet the expectations of Nigerians by improving security, especially in the northeast, sustaining the campaign against corruption, and have taken steps to revitalize the economy. He restated the federal government's determination as never before to continue with the fight against terrorism and insurgency, sustain the peace in the Niger Delta through engagements with stakeholders, and restore peace and stability in other parts of the country. President Buhari, in his message, also enjoins all Nigerians to keep faith in the determination and ability of this administration to change the Nigerian story for the good of all, as it wishes all Nigerians happy Easter celebrations.
The All Progressives Congress, APC, has expressed its best wishes to Christians and Nigerians on this year's Easter. A statement signed by the National Publicity Secretary of the APC, Malam Bolaji Abdullahi, praised that the rebirth of the belief to be our brother's keeper will reflect in the lives of Nigerians at a time of renewal, which Easter signifies. The statement also reminded Nigerians to be selfless as exemplified by Jesus Christ, while urging Christians to demonstrate love to the needy in their communities. As the country strides out of economic recession, the APC assures Nigerians of government's determination to restore the economy on the path of growth, stressing that with prayers and support of Nigerians, the vision of a peaceful and prosperous Nigeria is achievable. Inspector General of Police Ibrahim Idris has directed all Assistant Inspectors General of Police and State Command Commissioners of Police to be on ground throughout Easter celebration period to ensure massive deployment of personnel for a hitch-free celebration. A statement by the First Public Relations Officer, CSP G. Mushud, directed that police personnel be deployed for crime prevention and crowd control in worship centers, recreational, public and private places. It also directed police personnel to ensure sustained surveillance, intelligence gathering and raids of criminal hideouts, black spots across the country. The onset of rainy season coupled with the Easter period is witnessing a beehive of activities and resulting to heavy traffic in and out of Abuja, reason why the Federal Road Safety Corps, alongside celebrity special marshals, rolled out a road campaign to preach safety or safe driving and care worthiness to prevent road clashes. Momsu Damian Dati reports that the campaign was a sight to behold.
It's been 10 years since Chike Churchill Okogu lost his two legs in an accident along Airport Road in Abuja, said by road safety officials as one of the most notorious highways for road crashes in the FCT. He's been confined in the wheelchair ever since.
I survived, that's why I can tell this story. Very many people died. I have a lot of friends and colleagues who were passengers in their own vehicles, and they died.
His condition is not such that he desires, for his ordeal has taught him some bitter lessons and that is why he has joined the celebrity Special Marshal and the Federal Road Safety Corps on this road safety campaign. The core message is to sensitize motorists on the need for caution on the roads.
There are so many people that we don't know who are passengers in car crashes and they die. So we don't want to lose any more lives or have people survive on a wheelchair.
With the onset of the rainy season, coupled with the traffic buildup in view of the Easter season, road safety officials advise road users to be cautious.
Ensure that your tires are in good condition and that your wipers are working well.
As they came, especially this car, they came and saw, thinking maybe it is our car. This is not, yes, it's the driver that came with it. He wanted to register the car. But we couldn't accept it because of the car is not in order.
While the campaign was on, a concerned Nigerian musician joined the train to lend his voice to the road safety advocacy.
Say, make una not dey hurry. Where the hell did they go?
In Abuja, Momso Damien Dati, NTA News.
55 armed bandits that have been terrorizing innocent people in the northwest region have been granted amnesty in Sokoto State. This follows their surrender of arms and their pledge to uphold the agreement reached between them and the government. Shehu Muhammed completes the report.
The amnesty program was equal to a series of meetings held between the armed bandits and the committee set up by the Sokoto state government. Presenting their weapons to representative of the state governor and chairman Isa local government, Garba Moi Isa, the bandits in a remote manner expressed regret over their action and pledged to embrace peace. Garba Moi said, Sokoto state government is concerned about the security and welfare of its people, hence the need for the bandits to put down their arms and be good ambassadors.
You have seen the volume of weapons surrendered. You have seen the number of people, of bandits that surrendered. And you have seen the magnanimity of my governor.
Under the agreement reached, each armed bandit that surrendered AK-47 rifle and its equivalent was given 500,000 naira in addition to a plot of land to settle at a farmland. Those with pistol and locally made rifles were given 100,000 and 150,000 naira respectively. Some of the bandits interviewed pledged their support to the agreement, saying they will do their best to ensure that peace reigns in the state. Over 50 arms were recovered from the bandits, which were later handed over to Divisional Police Officer of Isa local government. In Sokoto, Shehu Muhammad, NTA News.
The Nigerian Air Force has embarked on 7-day surveillance in Benue and Taraba states with the aim of tackling issues of insecurity, particularly in the area of organized crime. Air Officer Commanding Tactical Air Command, Makurdi Air Vice Marshal Abiodun Balogun, who briefed newsmen on the mode of operation, said the exercise is at the instance of the Chief of Air Staff.
Concerned by security challenges in some parts of Benue and Taraba states, including various attacks by herdsmen on communities, cattle rustling and other organized crimes in the state, the 7-day exercise targets to curb such incidences at the flashpoints and bring lasting peace to affected areas. Tagged Operation Smoke Out, the command has equipped its personnel in the areas of emergency evacuation plan, response strategy, weather forecast, medical attention, fire cover and geographical location of target spots, among others. Air Officer Commanding Tactical Air Command Makurdi Air Vice Marshal Abiodun Balogun said the 7-day operation will involve day and night intensive search of the possible hideouts where criminals use as cover to unleash mayhem. Benue State Governor, represented by the Special Advisor on Sports and Youth Development, Professor Jonathan Ueve, expressed confidence in the ability of security operatives to deal with issues of insecurity in the state. The briefing also featured a demonstration of the combatant readiness of the command with the use of one of the fighter aircrafts which will be used during the operation. In Makurdi, Elias, Etiaf, NTA News.
The federal government has described Lagos State as a true model of the vision for improving the ease of doing business and turning Nigeria into one of the most attractive places for investors in the world. The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Okechukwu Enalama, said this after a meeting with Governor Akinwumi Ambode in his office in Alausa, Lagos. Victoria Olabode completes the story.
Of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Okechukwu Enalama, said both the federal and the state governments were willing to collaborate on strategic areas to achieve overall goal of growing the economy.
We've basically been talking about the whole theme of enabling environment and ease of doing business, an area where we have strong convergence between Lagos State and the federal government. The governor and I have been discussing how to collaborate very strongly to make sure that Lagos State, is a true role model.
Governor of Lagos State, Akinwumi Ambode, recalled that in the last few months, the state's government had been engaging the business community on ease of doing business, saying that the meeting with officials of the federal government was in sync with the vision of its administration to achieve the very best in driving investment.
We believe strongly that if 70% of businesses or these indicators are actually coming from Lagos State, there's a need for us to quickly create a convergence between the efforts of the federal government and the state government to make sure that we improve the business environment.
The governor expressed optimism that the current efforts would bring about major improvements on the business environment, adding that such would go a long way in growing the gross domestic product of Nigeria. In Lagos, Victoria Olabode, NTA News.
As Nigeria joined the global community to mark this year's World Art Day, usually set aside to promote the values of art across the world, Oyinaya Kaluoka in this special report takes a look at the state of art and the value system placed on it in Nigeria.
Imagine just a minute in a world without arts. Art stimulates different parts of the brain. It gives one way to be creative and expressive. Art, it is said, speaks louder than words. The World Art Day is an international celebration of fine arts declared by the International Association of Arts to promote awareness of creative activities worldwide. Nigeria has an artistic tradition that dates back thousands of years. A study of African art history indicates that the earliest sculpture forms found came from Nigeria and are dated around 500 BC. Nigerians' artworks have been ranked as one of the best in Africa because of its quality, beauty, and messages passed across.
If you look at that dove, you can see that it is tied with a rope. What does that mean? It means that the piece is hampered.
I think the standard is excellent. Yeah, I'm very impressed.
But with all the attributes attached to Nigerian arts, how much do Nigerians appreciate and value it? And on a scale of preference with other things, what will an average Nigerian choose?
It will not be.
Why?
It will not be. Because there are a lot of things that are of priority than arts.
Meet 31-year-old Tom Sunday, one of the upcoming artists with great hope. He says the passion for art is what keeps him going.
We don't value arts per se, because if you look around Abuja right now, because you can see very few sculptural pieces around and very few painting or mural painting on the wall.
As part of activities to mark the World Art Day, the National Gallery of Art held an exhibition, and the Director General, Abdullahi Muku, emphasized government focus on supporting and promoting the creative industry.
Investing in research and development of new techniques, not just for artists themselves, but also in stimulating appeal in the minds of art lovers, buyers, and dealers.
The World Art Day is celebrated every 15th of April, which is the birthday of the renowned artist Leonardo da Vinci, to celebrate his achievements in art. Oyinaya Kaluoka, NTA News.
The death has occurred of Ambassador Magaji Muhammed, former Minister of Interior, Commerce and Industry, as well as Ambassador of Nigeria to Saudi Arabia during the regime of former President Olusegun Obasanjo. Muhammad Omar Ajinge reports.
People in their large numbers, including an in-law to the deceased Senator Muhammed Makurdi, former governor of Katsina State Ibrahim Shehu Shema, and the Emir of Katsina, gathered at Sultan Bello Jumat Mosque for the burial prayers led by Sheikh Kumi. They described late Ambassador Magaji Muhammed as an epitome of change, a really patriotic Nigerian who contributed his quota towards the development of the country in different capacities.
Muhammad was a father, a great man, and a said to himself, all we can do is to pray for the cause of his soul, for Allah to reward him with Al-Jannah Firdausi. We've lost a very genuine leader ready to assist. He has done his bit, and definitely his legacies will live. He has tried sending love.
Age 77, late Ambassador Magaji Muhammad died after a brief illness, leaving behind a wife, 10 children, among them the wife of former governor of Kaduna State, Asma'u Muhammad Makurdi.
He has served his creator and he has served humanity to the best of his ability.
Before his death, he headed Federal Ministry of Internal Affairs, Commerce and Industry, all during the regime of President Olusegun Obasanjo. He was also a sole administrator, Kaduna Capital Territory in 1975. His remains has been laid to rest at Ungwan Sarki burial ground. In Kaduna, I am Muhammad Umar Adingi, NTA News.
You can watch this news online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS, or log on to nta.ng. This is Weekend File on the network service of the NTA. Following concerns raised by candidates on difficulties associated with UTME registration exercise, many candidates are calling on JAMB to approve more computer-based test centers across the country to enable eligible candidates complete their registration within the stipulated period. Some candidates say many accredited banks are unable to connect to the JAMB network for the online form for the generation of personal identification number, that's the PIN number. Others blame it on gross inadequacies of CBT centers in most states and local government areas and slow speed of internet services. Tonight, we will get to feel the pulse of some candidates from across the nation in our correspondence report. You are watching Weekend File, and I will be right back in just a moment.
This is a happy moment for me and for all Nigerians.
Amina Ali Nkeke, the first Chibok schoolgirl to be rescued in the renewed onslaught against the Boko Haram insurgency.
Amina's rescue gives us new hope.
Federal government has formally received the 21 abducted Chibok girls.
These dear daughters of ours have seen the worst that the world has to offer. It is now time for them to experience the best that the world can do for them. Government will sustain the effort until all the remaining girls return safely.
Let's pepper them.
So tell somebody to tell everybody to come join Timaya, baby.
I they bring too much sauce. Grow mega music talk.
It's gonna be a mad over you 10.
Yo, where you know we are showstoppers.
I'm your host for the biggest show ever.
If you miss the store, you're gonna miss everything. So join me, guys. Let's turn up.
We'll be storming across Nigeria. I won't be anywhere else.
Everyone who is anyone is going to be there. All Nigerians
finest musicians.
One big stage.
Live and direct.
Glow Mega Music Tour all over Nigeria.
So watch out because we dey come.
Let's go!
It's the Glow Mega Music Tour with your favorite anchors and special guest stars. It's gonna be untamed. Text music and your preferred location to 207. Use 2,000 Naira Glow airtime in 1 month to stand in line for your free ticket. So what are you waiting for? The Glow Mega Music Tour.
Glow Unlimited.
The Petroleum Tankers Drivers of Nupeng, in collaboration with Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, hereby wish all Christian faithfuls a happy Easter celebration. In the spirit of celebration, obey traffic rules and regulations in order to assist everyone reach their destinations freely and safely. Install speed limiting device and do not drive with worn-out or expired tires to avoid accidents. While wishing all Christian faithfuls a happy Easter celebration, the two organizations advise that consideration for other road users is a religious obligation which everyone must observe. In case of any emergency, please call 122 toll-free line. This message is from the Petroleum Tankers Drivers of Nupeng.
Do you crave class? Do you have taste? And do you care about comfort? If you do, then for your next event, a stay away from home, a business trip, or a holiday, visit Jade's Hotel at 24 Undola Crescent, Wuse Zone 5, Abuja. Check out our world-class services, exquisite suites, restaurant and bar, gymnasium, spa, and grills, and our outdoor catering services and cuisines. At Jade's, it can only be better. For bookings and reservations, visit us today at 24 Undola Crescent, Wuse Zone 5, Abuja, or visit www.jadeshotels.com. Our email address is info@jadeshotels.com. You can also call us on 09291-9321 or 0810-909-7956. Jade's Hotels. Welcome to life.
For the first time in the maritime sector of this great nation, Nigeria, 33 African countries, top global maritime administrators, and other stakeholders are all converging in Nigeria as the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, proudly hosts the 3rd edition of the Association of African Maritime Administration Conference, themed Sustainable Use of Africa's Oceans and Seas. Special guest of honor, His Excellency, President Muhammad Buhari. Other notable guests include Secretary General, International Maritime Organization, His Excellency, Mr. Kitak Lim, Minister of Transportation of Nigeria, Right Honorable Rotimi Amechi, and other distinguished guests. Host, Director General NIMASA, Dr. Dakuku Adol Peterside. Date, April 19th to 21st, 2017, at the Transcorp Hilton Hotel, Abuja. For more information, please call 0803-301-7498. AMA 2017 is organized by NIMASA and IMO.
The federal government of Nigeria renegotiation team, chaired by Dr. B.O. Babalaki, SAN, was inaugurated by the Honorable Minister of Education, Malam Adamu, on Monday, 13th February 2017. The team is expected to renegotiate the 2009 agreements with the university-based staff unions and sign new agreements that would holistically tackle the challenges confronting the Nigerian university system and reposition it to effectively play its very important role in national development and be globally competitive. The core issues on the agenda of the renegotiation are as follows: conditions of service, funding, university autonomy and academic freedom, and other matters. The task of revamping and repositioning the NUS is collective responsibility of all stakeholders. It is against this background that the federal government is calling for contributions from relevant stakeholders in the university subsector to assist the team in achieving its objectives. All memoranda should reach the Secretariat, FGN University-Based Unions Renegotiation Committee, Room 025, National Universities Commission, 26 Aguirre Street, Maritime, Abuja, not later than 2 weeks from the date of this announcement. Secretary of the Government Team, announcer.
Welcome back. You're watching Weekend File. Despite the hiccups that characterize the ongoing registration of the 2017 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination UTME, almost 1.4 million candidates out of the estimated 1.5 million have procured JAMB forms. As candidates prepare for the examination scheduled for May, Franca Uzoma Oluwa examines some adjustments by JAMB that tend to block loopholes and curb examination malpractices.
On the 20th of March, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, started the sale of forms for the 2017 UTME, but this was not without some teething problems. When the board opened 650 computer-based test centers across the Federation, many centers could not utilize the facility provided for easy registration.
Marker Global School, Aba, just one.
Similarly, a mock examination was slated for Saturday, April 8, to try test the readiness of JAMB facilities, but was put on hold due to some setbacks from JAMB's technical partners. This led to the 2-week extension of the ongoing registration. In efforts to discourage multiple registration, JAMB changed the system of registration from one thumb to now include candidates' 10 fingers.
Let people be honest. Let them have honest score. If, for instance, the highest is 240 or 230, we will not go and bring people for 300 from heaven. We will know our standard and be able to rectify.
More so, the board has reduced the volume and period of the 2017 UTME from 400 to 180 questions and from 3 hours to 2 hours, in line with international best practices. With huge costs usually incurred through supervision of external candidates, the board came up with some conditions.
We have a duty to look at the whole system. We will not deprive the children of diplomats who are genuine, but we are coming up with condition that before you can take our examination outside Nigeria, there must have been, when did you arrive? We look at your visa. You get the point. When last were you in Nigeria? Why, how long have you stayed where you are? So those are the questions you have to answer.
As registration process progresses with many centers, in some states fully booked, it appears the number of candidates may exceed the estimated 1.5 million.
What we promise is that we will do our best as honestly as we can do. We are not promising that there will be no hiccups, there will be no problem, but they will not be deliberate. And where such problems occur, definitely it will be for national interest.
The 2017 UTME is expected to commence from the 13th of May. Franca Uzoma Olwa, NTA News.
And now let's take you to Lagos, where prospective candidates who are yet to complete their registration are actually complaining over the slow registration process, particularly the third stage, which involves biometric capturing at computer-based test centers. Jane Ujuku, who visited some of the CBT centers in Lagos, reports that candidates wait long hours just to complete the process.
This is a common sight at computer-based test CBT centers across Lagos as candidates wait long hours in the queue to complete their UTME registration process. Some of the candidates share their frustrations.
The network is down. I've not been able to register, so it's not something that I'm pleased with.
I've been here since after 6. Still, the network is still bad.
But some of the 69 accredited center operators blame the slow registration process on interconnectivity challenge.
Our projection was for 10,000. As it is now, I don't think we have done up to 4,000.
The internet will work for a while. Let me say for the next 1 hour, it will go off.
JAMB had extended the registration period by 2 weeks following outcry by stakeholders for an extension to enable all prospective candidates complete their registration. So far, about 1.3 million candidates have successfully completed their UTME registration. JAMB had abolished the use of scratch card for UTME registration and introduced the new PIN-based registration procedure, which involves a 3-stage process. It also reduced the examination questions from 250 to 180. Many prospective candidates who are still battling with the procedure suggest that JAMB considers a further extension of the registration deadline. In Lagos, Jane Ujuku, NTA News.
Well, the situation is actually different in Maiduguri. That's the capital of Borno State. The challenges of the registration in Maiduguri is further compounded actually by the centralization of the exercise within the state capital, which was occasioned by insurgency. Naomi Abaku, who visited some registration centers, reports that the prospective candidates decried overstretched facilities in the state capital as a major impediment to smooth registration.
With all the challenges of Boko Haram insurgency, which has the greatest effect on educational facilities, being the primary target of the insurgents, JAMB examination was never stopped. However, all educational facilities in the north and central Borno are now operating in Maiduguri as in the heat of the insurgency. Most people were compelled to flee their communities and take refuge in the state capital. This development has exerted pressure on processes leading to JAMB examination as requirement for entry into institutions of higher learning. Before the full-blown insurgency, JAMB zonal office in Borno State had branches in Biu, Bama, and Maiduguri, and plan was underway to open another in Mangono local government area. Narrating their ordeal, prospective candidates for 2017-2018 JAMB in Borno decried the slow pace of registration, which they attributed to the newly introduced procedure.
I've been here for more than 1 month, but I've been sleeping on the street with my friends.
I'm here since 2 weeks.
The experience we had here is very stressful. I came here since around 5 o'clock in the morning, though I met up to 125 people.
Coordinator JAMB Zonal Office Maiduguri, Ahmed Ali, said with the multiplied number of candidates resulting from concentration in the state capital, financial institutions and JAMB registration centers are overstretched, leading to unnecessary delays and other difficulties.
Before we were using cards, and all cafes, some cafes are involved in registration. But this time around, the registration was restricted only to our exam centers. And there are only few. The network, and sometimes we have power challenges. However, with these challenges, we have even gone far beyond our expectation.
He assured that all prospective candidates in Borno State will be registered before the deadline of May 2nd, 2017 in Maiduguri. Naomi Aboku, NTA News.
And from the south-south part of the country, close to the deadline for registration of the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination UTME, applicants in Rivers and Bayelsa states are expressing frustration with the process, where many of them have kept vigil, as Chinachi Samuel tells us.
Parents and educationists in Rivers State are worried that if these challenges are not addressed, many prospective candidates may not be able to sit for the examination, and if they eventually do, may not have excellent results due to time spent on registrations, which should have been spent on reading.
I'm not against the pin, but the way they sell the pin is the problem now.
We would like to make a call to JAMB to give some response. The technology is evolving, and we are not yet very used to this one.
The situation is not different in Bayelsa State. Doris Akumonye quotes some candidates who kept vigil at the JAMB office for days, as urging JAMB to establish more registration centers across the various local government areas to reduce the stress candidates from rural communities go through in assessing the forms in the state capital.
The process is difficult. New development of the JAMB process is very, very porous.
Commissioner for Education, Bayelsa State, Maxim Fefeye, says the state government is to synergize with JAMB to establish more centers.
One of the things we had discovered was that they didn't have enough CBD centers in this state. I've talked to them, and we want to see how we can partner with them.
Efforts to reach JAMB coordinators in Rivers and Bayelsa states proved abortive. In Port Harcourt, Osinachi Samuel, NTA News.
And from Sokoto, Muhammed Nasir visited some computer-based test centers and reports that challenges notwithstanding, the exercise is progressing.
At the beginning of the registration in Sokoto State, there were some challenges encountered, most of which were technical. At all the 8 accredited CBT centers, there were either network fluctuation or failure and lack of proper orientation by candidates. Also, there were difficulties in accessing the website of the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board by PIN vendors, which delayed the registration exercise. However, despite these challenges, an average of 1,000 candidates are registered on a daily basis.
When something is new, the technology is new, we have been registering candidates through this means, but there are some changes and some innovations, some improvement in the technology. And that is the reason why some of the hitches we experience. But now with time, we become used to it.
With the technological improvement in the registration process, about 250 candidates are registered daily in each of the 8 CBT centers in the state.
It's good, it's smooth, and the way they do the registration is very easy.
Even the environment where we're making the registration is very conducive.
The only non-technical challenge experienced is that of fraudsters who collect candidates' money in the name of facilitating their registration outside the accredited centers. However, efforts are being intensified by JAMB officials to enlighten people on how to properly register for the examination. In Sokoto, Muhammed NTA Weekend Pile.
Similarly, Tawa Omar gives us a situation report from Makurdi.
The initial challenges faced by the prospective candidates who converged in large numbers at the various banks in Makurdi was their inability to pay the stipulated 5,500 naira registration fee so as to obtain their PIN numbers and proceed for registration.
Even to pay money for the form is a long process.
I've been here since Monday, and I must tell you that the transport I've used to come to this place every day is getting out of hand.
Though there were several explanations by the JAMB zonal office in Makurdi over challenges with registration process due to technical challenges and lack of power supply, this did not go down well with the candidates as they protested and vandalized facilities at the JAMB zonal office. However, a visit to one of the newly created centers shows that the exercise is going on smoothly and peacefully.
I registered 500 students yesterday.
The registrar had graciously approved 2 other centers to ease registration. One is in Makurdi here, one is in Boko.
The JAMB authorities have further appealed to the prospective candidates to be law-abiding and orderly so that the exercise can continue smoothly. In NTA News.
Well, the contributions from some states from across the nation, which we have all watched, give us an idea of how the modified UTME registration exercise is currently going on across the country. Our discussion segment, which is next, of course, with the JAMB Registrar, will help us clear some of the issues and challenges, and of course, the latest on the exercise. Stay with us on Weekend File.
Oh, it's happy hour. So, you want a free Coca-Cola, but you have to drink it here.
Cadbury Bournvita now comes in an attractive new 500-gram refill pack. Simply open and reseal after use to retain the chocolatey and creamy taste. Cadbury Bournvita. Prepare to win.
It's finally here, the most anticipated sports show on live television, featuring great sports icons from ex-internationals to famed journalists and administrators. It doesn't come bigger than the Sports Parliament. Be a part of the biggest sports talk show on television to help chart a successful path for Nigerian sports. 11 p.m. to midnight on Thursday on the NTA Sports Parliament, where the eggheads converge.
Nigerians. Suicide bombers are not spirits. They are not ghosts. They are human beings like you and me. They live amongst us. They are your neighbors. They are your friends today, but terrorists tomorrow. So you must know your neighbor now. Security begins with you and me. Know your neighbor. Be vigilant. Be security conscious. Report suspicious persons, objects, and movements to the police and other security agencies. The security of our nation is a duty for you and me.
If you see something, say something. Nigeria, unite against terrorism. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
You're welcome back, and with me live to discuss the ongoing modified registration of the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination exercise, the general outcry by the prospective candidates, and the way out is the JAMB Registrar himself, Professor Ishaq Oloyede. You're welcome to Weekend File.
Thank you very much.
All right, it appears that it's a departure, from what it used to be to something entirely new with this registration. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, thank you very much. It's not entirely new. What we are just doing is to block the loopholes, because examination malpractice will not start with the examination itself. It's in the registration process. And what we have done is to create a standard that we believe should be met. And you will notice that before this year, students used to register by fingerprint. It's just one. Capturing of biometric is one finger. But now we are doing 10. The reason is to block the possibility of multiple registration. Our study has shown that students register with multiple times, and that is to beat, it's an examination malpractice, because a student will register as Isiaq Olanrewaju Oloyede. He will also register as Oloyede Olanrewaju Isiaq. He will register as Olanrewaju Isiaq, just to take 3 examinations. In some instances, some do it for them. In some instances, one same person going to 3 places, and he will go for the highest score. After obtaining the highest of the sitting, the candidate will now come to JAMB and say there were mistakes in the arrangement of my name, so rearrange the name for me. So we have noticed this, and we have blocked that chance, and that's the reason why we said, look, you need the 11th finger to be able to do that. We are capturing not just one, as it was the practice, but 10. And I believe that that if people understand and they want to do what is, there will be some delay. It will not be as fast as when you are doing one finger.
Now, many candidates complain that the process is too slow. Why is that so? Is it because of the 3 stages involved, or because of some complaint of slow of the internet, and maybe not having enough number of accredited CBT centers?
Look, number one, we do not have enough CBT center, but I do not even believe that that's the reason. It's government-owned CBT centers, I mean owned by JAMB, there is less than 30 out of 649 that we have across the country. They are privately owned, and we register them on condition that they meet minimum standard. And we urge Nigerians, those who want to contribute to educational development of this country, to establish. It's a very profitable business, and to establish. But more importantly, I think the procedure that we are following this year is not significantly different from the previous procedure. It's just that we are strengthening the internal mechanism against fraudulent practices.
Yes, they talk about the second and last stages. The second one, which of course it has to do with the bank linking up with the JAMB network to be able to generate the PIN and all of that. Then the biometric capturing, which is now 10 fingers,
yes.
Right? And people keep vigil or something.
Yes,
doesn't that make sense? Is there no way this can be reversed? Or find another?
We can. It can be easier if people understand. For example, last year about 600, and we have more CBT centers this year than we had last year. There was an increase of about 10 to 15% in the number of CBT centers we have this year. But the issue is that the process, many people do not understand the process. In the in previous years, we register you go to a computer center, you have one computer registering the students. This year, we have given every computer center 100 access points. What that means is that every computer center with appropriate human resources can register 100 persons at a time. But when you see in the first week, and this is our third week of registration on initial 4 weeks. We said 4 weeks. And today is the end of the third of the fourth week. And out of about 1.5 candidates that were expected to register,
1.3 has done.
No, we have 1,318,337 who have already registered.
Yes. Remember, it's an estimation. We could have up to 3 million.
No, we cannot, because last year we registered 1,272,284. And we expect we have added over 200,000 to make 1.5. And we are saying that this is the third week, the end of the third week. And if this number had registered, I believe it's a success.
Okay, a mock exam was scheduled last Saturday, but it didn't hold.
Yes.
What was responsible for that?
JAMB had never had mock examination. It was because we felt that we are using new vehicle, and a new vehicle requires testing. And that's why we said for free, not for at no cost. Anybody who is interested in taking the examination should take it. The purpose was to test the vehicle, the new technology that we are using. And at a point when we discovered that the technology, because the technology is the type, we are using telecom. Rather than using VSAT and so on, we are using telecom that anywhere, because people are talking of equity in education. People are talking of, when people talk about no bandwidth, slow bandwidth, which type of bandwidth? They are still talking in the old language. We are not using general bandwidth. We have a private PVN that we are using for this exercise. And if, of course, we are in a country, I do not own any of the service providers. If they are out or they are down for a period, of course they will come up. And since we tolerate that all over the country, we should still tolerate it. Okay. As far as we are concerned, we believe that the registration exercise this year, for me, is a success. But as regards the mock examination, when we discovered that there were certain things to be done, we postponed the examination. We regret the postponement, but it is because it is a mock. It is a trial testing, and that's exactly what we are doing.
So you are still going to do that?
Of course.
Now, what is the fate of candidates who are living outside Nigeria? How will they be captured for this registration?
You see, I believe that many Nigerians are genuine in their complaint, but I also believe that some people have peculiar problems, knowing fully well that what JAMB is doing is like killing their greed. Because when you talk about people writing JAMB outside the country, they do, most did that for a purpose, and we are blocking that. And that was, you will spend a lot of money going to Britain, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, conducting examination. And you now discover that these students, 80% of them are graduates of the Nigerian secondary school system. They will travel to Cotonou to take our examination because they know that once you are outside the country, there is no post-UTME test for you. It's automatic. Nigerians, those who have the money, the elite, they now sponsor their children. What we are going to do is simply to say, yes, foreign students, Nigerians who are abroad, or foreigners who want to come to Nigerian university system, they will be allowed to register at the appropriate time. And we will ask our embassies in those countries to conduct the examination for them. And it's as simple. But before you can take the examination, you must have shown evidence to the embassy that you had been there 3 months, at least 3 months before the examination.
Now, can Nigerians actually hope for a successful UTME come May?
Yes, it's my hope. It's my prayer. It's my commitment. And I believe that all things being equal, I only need the support of well-meaning Nigerians. I know that some people are pained. They are pained because the old ways cannot continue. But for well-meaning Nigerians, I can give them assurance that we'll do our best. I'm not promising that there will be no problem. Problems are there to be solved. But I'm saying I will give my best, as honest as I can, and at the end of the day, we will all see that we are serving national interest. No interest other than the interest of this nation.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Professor Ishak Oloyede, not Oloyede Ishak.
Thank you.
Professor Ishak Oloyede is actually the registrar, the JAMB Registrar. He has spoken to us, and Nigerians should make their own decisions. Thank you very much indeed for being part of the show.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate your time.
Thank you. This is Weekend Fun. And if you're a lover of sports, that is next. Do stay with us.
The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, is working to ensure access to safe, good quality essential medicines with the World Health Organization pre-qualification of made in Nigeria pharmaceutical products, stiffer penalties for fake drug offenders with a review of NAFDAC laws, national, regional, and international collaborations, cutting-edge technologies, including the mobile authentication service.
NAFDAC impacts upon everything we do, including water we drink, the food we eat. They are important organs to the development of this country. And everybody should come out and join them and support them and help them to achieve the greatest benefits and success that they need to record.
Let us support NAFDAC to win the war against fake drugs and other unwholesome regulated products. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
Okay, sir. You may now go in for your interview.
Thank you. Ah, my shoe. And to think I just bought this very expensive foreign shoe 2 months ago.
So sorry about your shoes. This is why I advise my friends to always patronize made in Nigeria products. See this shoe. It's made in Nigeria, and I've had it for 2 years, and it's still as good as the day I bought it.
Made in Nigeria products are good quality, and stringent government regulations and certification now mean the goods made in Nigeria meet international standards. Make the patriotic choice today. Buy right. Buy made in Nigeria.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
Now, let's go to a sports update with Adiola Amokevi.
The first 3-day triathlon school holiday clinic, which had about 160 students from 40 schools in Lagos participating, ended Thursday at the Teslim Balogun Stadium, Lagos. The participants were taught the basic techniques of the sport and the execution of its transition from running to biking and to swimming. For the Nigerian Triathlon Union, the progress of a sport in the country relies on developing talents from the schools.
They did excellently well. So that tells you that even the public schools, if you encourage them. So what we try to do is to put triathlon in their psyche. So then we need a follow-up to that for them, for the program to stay.
Certificates and awards were presented to outstanding athletes and schools. The first Under-12 Mini Basketball International Masters Championship serves off Monday at the Sports Center in Roe Park, Lagos. 12 basketball academies from various parts of the country, including one from Ghana, will be taking part in the 6-day championship. The organizers say the initiative is a grassroots developmental program which is focused on developing future stars in the game by giving them the needed exposure.
Every one of the academy, we've monitored them before we invited them. They are good. This is something Nigerians should be proud of. You know, it's going to be a fantastic mini basketball tournament for everyone that going to be involved in the tournament.
We decided to travel down to Nigeria to get in the necessary exposure. They have seen basketball among the youth, among the peers in Ghana. It's time to tell them, say, look, let's go out there and rub shoulders with other nationalities and give you that type of foreign exposure.
And in the week 33 of the England Premier League matches played Saturday, the star match on the NTA network between Crystal Palace and Leicester City ended 2 goals apiece. Meanwhile, Tottenham Hotspur is closing up on table toppers Chelsea with a 4-0 thrashing of visiting Bournemouth. Everton beat Burnley 3-1, while Manchester City defeated Southampton 3-0. With sports updates, Adeola Omokivie, NTA News.
And now the weather forecast for tomorrow. And that's our show tonight. Let's do this again next week. It's good night.
This is the network service of the NTA.
Nigerians. Suicide bombers are not spirits. They are not ghosts. They are human beings like you and me. They live amongst us. They are your neighbors. They are your friends today, but terrorists tomorrow. So you must know your neighbor now. Security begins with you and me. Know your neighbor. Be vigilant. Be security conscious. Report suspicious persons, objects, and movements to the police and other security agencies. The security of our nation is a duty for you and me.
If you see something, say something. Nigeria unite against terrorism. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Kidney and liver issues are on the rise. Why?
This is monstrous. It's even womanstrous.
Charlatans peddle drugs on the streets as if it is pure water. Why?
I was not new.
Enterprise is for money, not assured and quality service. Why?
My dear sweet professor, am I trying to you so?
Oh yes.
Episode 10, Season 3 of your rib-cracking comedy. Professor John Bull takes a swipe at the scourge of substandard goods in our society.
Fake suppliers of products must be brought to justice before they create a calamitous atrocity in our community.
Keep a date with us and laugh like never before.
Electric bomb!
Showing at 8:30 p.m. every Tuesday and Friday on NTA Network International and Star Times.
Over and out.
Brought to you by